Well, first, let me unmute. Hey, friends, and welcome to another live. I'm your host, Shevvy. Let me make sure I'm streaming on Instagram as well. Welcome, say hello in the chat. Also, let me know where you're joining me from. If you're new to my space, welcome. Drop a one in the chat if you're new here. So, because I want to get to know you, let's connect. I'm gonna give this system StreamYard and Instagram to give it, a few seconds to just kind of get caught up. But happy Tuesday. I hope you're having an amazing day. Like I said, if you are coming in, drop a one in the chat if you're new to my space. If you're like, hey, I've been here before, just drop in the chat where you're joining from. I am Shevvymac, a retired Air Force veteran after 22 plus years. Now I do several things, but on this channel here on Instagram at SMM Realty Group, if you are on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, it is SMM Realty Group, living in Montgomery, Alabama. Definitely go subscribe there if you are not. So in this space, what I do is help you as a first time home buyer to buy your first home, or I help you to buy your next home with ease. Because at the end of the day, my goal is not to just sell you a home, but truly educate you on making the right choice and the best choice for yourself and for your family. So when you move into the home and you're in there for 60, 90 days, you're actually happy with the home that you have, and you're not sitting there with regrets and dislike for the home. Okay. All right, friend. Well, welcome. If you're watching this hashtag replay, and I want to say thank you so much for being here, because I know life is happening. But today I want to talk about how not to be affected by seller's fraud as a first-time home buyer. So you might be thinking, like, seller's fraud. Well, think about this. As a first-time home buyer, you are excited. You are like, I'm looking at all these houses. I'm watching HGTV. I'm looking at, Flip and all the different things. So you are motivated to buy, but you're like, I want to go ahead and start the process. And sometimes we are looking for great deals. Like, for me, I love a great deal, okay? But I want to make sure that you are on the safe side as you move forward on this journey of purchasing your first home or even your next home, because this can happen to anyone. And we know when it comes to fraud, it is increasing and increasing, because I have been affected by fraud through my credit card company, my business account. So definitely it is happening. It is rampant. So today, when I went to my weekly training at KW Montgomery office, we talked about seller's fraud, and it really is a thing that is happening not just here but around in the real estate market. And not just for real estate, this happens to anyone. But I want to talk to you as a first-time home buyer or someone who's looking to purchase their next home and you're looking for a great deal, to be mindful of who you're communicating with, who you're sharing your data with, and also who you're giving money to. Okay, because you can give your money to someone thinking that this person has your best interest to purchase this home, and then it comes later on down the line like, oh, this person was fraud and they're gone. They're nowhere to be found, especially if you are in that you're not in a position to spend a lot of money on a home. So one thing, I'm going to just share some things that you want to make sure that you are doing to avoid being caught up into that space of seller's fraud, because at the end of the day, you are working hard to save your money. You are taking the time and planning out to say, hey, this is a home that I want to purchase. But you don't want to get to the point where you're like, you spend all that time, resources, and then it's like your money is gone. And now you're left with nothing, and you're having to start from scratch. Okay. So the first thing that you want to do as a first-time home buyer is, and you found a great deal, do your research, because you can find things on Zillow, on Craigslist, of people selling their homes, or maybe houses that are available, or maybe land that are available that is listed for a very low price. And you will find some homes like that. But my friend, I really want you to make sure that you are doing your due diligence and do research. Research is going to be key to help you identify, is this legit? Okay. And hopefully you're able to find things about this specific house before you move forward. So do your research is number one. Number two is to really find a qualified brokerage company. Like, for example, I'm at KW here in Montgomery. There's KW throughout the entire US, but also internationally. So always look at, okay, in my cities, if you're in, Montgomery, you can find a brokerage firm to say, hey, let me learn more about this company. And there's a lot of different, firms that you can find, brokerage firm that you can find, but find one that fits your need. Find one that you feel like, okay, I feel connected. I feel like ease. I feel like they're legit. And the good thing about finding a local firm is that you can walk into that organization. You can walk into their office and have conversations and meet people and get to know people. So you're not just giving your money, because sometimes again we see things virtually online and we're like, man, that's looked like a great deal. Let me go and reach out to this person. I would advise you to find the location of the brokerage company and take someone with you to go visit, to meet those individuals in person, because during our training the person shared how she has seen in her position individuals who pay someone for a specific home, but that money was gone, because after you transfer that money, guess what, that money is gone. You don't get it back, because if you're transferring to someone who's in a different country, that money is gone. So I don't want you to waste your money. I want you to invest your money into a home that you're like, hey, this is the home that I want. And again, do your research, find a qualified brokerage company that you can visit. You can Google them. You can actually read their reviews and really get to know, okay, what are people saying about this company? What are great things? What are things that are not so great? Because again, you're going to find reviews both good, bad, and right in the middle. Okay. Also, another opportunity, if it's not a brokerage firm and you're like, hey, I found this person on the internet and they're selling their home, is for sale by owner type situation. Again, do your research on that person. You may want to hire an attorney, and these are things that I talked about in my 30-day live that I did last month. So you definitely want to make sure that you're hiring someone who is knowledgeable, because the key thing here, if you're dealing with someone in the position who is selling their home themselves, which is fine and you can do that, but just make sure that you do your due diligence. Find someone, an attorney, hire someone who's going to help and guide you. Well, not the attorney is going to guide you, but they're going to make sure all the documentation is right. But find someone who's going to guide you and say, hey, you need to make sure that the deed is in this person name, because they can be selling a home that is not even theirs, which at the end of the day, that means your money is gone. So even though you're giving them $20, $15, or $7,000 for a down payment, that down payment may be gone because that is not their home. So yes, you can buy a home from someone from a for sale by owner individual, but part of avoiding and being part of that seller's fraud organization, you want to make sure that you do your due diligence. You want to make sure that the deed that is on the name on the deed is actually that person. And again, do your research. You can go down to the courthouse to figure out, okay, whose name is on this specific deed. You can hire an attorney to do a lot of different things for you. So again, do your due diligence. Okay. Another example, this may occur, for example, you may find a property that is out of state and you're like, hey, this will be a great investment property. But again, same thing. You don't want to be just talking to someone over the internet. You want to see that person, whether you go and Zoom with that person. You actually find a brokerage firm in that city or that state or in that state that you feel like someone can refer you to. Say, for example, if you are in New Jersey at a KW branch and you're like, hey, I know Shevvy in Montgomery, can you, or this, you can go to that branch and see if that person can refer you to another KW member in that state that you're looking, because you want to see, okay, how can I make sure that this transaction that I am looking to move forward on is legit? And by having a realtor like me or a realtor at another firm to help you bring that, bridge that gap, especially if you're out of state, it is key, because a lot of times, a lot of out of state transaction may be fraud opportunities, because people are looking, well, you're not in state here. You can't come and see the property. You can't see me. Yes, I can see you virtually, but guess what? I can delete everything, whatever the case may be. So as a first-time home buyer, do your homework, okay? Definitely do your homework. Welcome, Sweetie 29. Today we are talking about how not to be affected by seller's fraud as a first-time home buyer. So I shared quite a few things And the reason I am talking about the seller's fraud is to make sure that as a first-time home buyer, you're not taken advantage of because you're trusting someone to sell your home that you believe it's theirs, but they're not, but it's not there. Or a home is listed by a fake firm saying that we have these listing and you have to do, send this down payment or whatever the case may be, that you don't get taken by those individuals, because we know fraud is happening in any category, whether that's the real estate, whether that's banking, whether that's your business, education, it is happening. So as a first-time home buyer, these are things that you want to make sure that you are doing to prevent yourself from being caught up in that space. Okay. Any questions, drop a Q in the chat, or you can use the question bubble on Instagram. If you have a question and you are on my YouTube channel, you can drop the question in the comments or in the comments. So I can definitely look at the question and answer them. But if there are any question that you have as a first-time home buyer on this topic or any other topic or about pre-approval, definitely just send me those questions. And also, I'm going to be creating a guide for first-time home buyer. So stay tuned for that, and you can download it. You can have it on your phone as you're traveling, as you're thinking about purchasing your home. So definitely stay tuned for that link. I'm going to try to get it up this week, but no promises, okay? Welcome, Angela Dorch, 53. Thank you so much for joining me, ma'am. If there are any questions, drop it in the chat. And today I just talked about how to avoid from being affected by seller's fraud, because we know fraud is happening throughout not just the US, but the world, but definitely. And that's why they have, us business owners registering our businesses, because they're trying to prevent business fraud from people creating businesses that are fake, but taking money and not reporting those income to the government. So stay up to date on what's going on in your neighborhood. Again, like I said, do your research. Find a qualified brokerage firm or company in your neighborhood. You can definitely work with for sale by owner, but definitely do your research. Meet that person. Find out whether or not their name is on the deed, because again, you don't want to buy a home that is not even theirs, that they're trying to sell you, which happens. Okay. And if you're out of state, again, be very careful. If you're out of state, get with a brokerage firm like KW in your state, and then see if they can refer you to someone in, for example, if it's Alabama, then they will say, hey, yes, I know someone, or it doesn't have to be me, but it could be someone else that they can connect you with, so that person can actually work on your behalf. And yes, there more likely is going to be a fee for that, but why not pay that fee and avoid losing the money you invested in this home? So those are the things that I wanted to share with you today. And I think I'm going to be using either Tuesdays and Thursday as my weekly live. If this is like a day that you would love to see me come here live, let me know by dropping me 3 in the chat. If you would love for me to come on Thursday more in the evening time, let me know as well too, because I do plan to be here once a week or twice a week, depending on what's happening in my life. Because I do have kids. I do have another side of my business. But no, I do know that I do enjoy coming here live and sharing what I know as a realtor, but also I want to make sure that I'm serving you as a first-time home buyer or someone who's looking to purchase his or her next home. Okay. You are, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Angela Dorch. But yes, friend, thank you all so much for joining me. Again, definitely, I would love you to invite someone to my page here on IG. And also, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go over there, subscribe. You can click the link in my bio here on IG. It is SMM Realty Group, living in Montgomery, Alabama. And over there, again, you can subscribe. You can, share it with a friend. And also you can hit that notification bell to know when I will be live there as well too. So yes, friend, as always, thank you all so much for joining me. I am ShevvyMac, a retired Air Force veteran. After 22 plus years of serving in the military, great experience. But now on this side of the internet, I'm helping individuals to purchase their first or next home with ease and confidence. Because when you move into the home, I want you to enjoy when the 60 days or 90 days that you're like, hey, I am happy with my purchase. And you're not just sitting there but like, man, my realtor done jacked me up. My realtor done, gave me a fraud home. Like, no. I want to make sure that you are educated on making the best and right choice for you or you and your family. Okay. So definitely, if you're in the market and you're looking to purchase a home in the next 30, 60, 90, or 180 days, then I invite you, friend, to reach out to me. You can click the link in my bio on Instagram to book a call, or you can click the link in the description on my YouTube channel to book a call. And this is a free consultation just to kind of learn about you, what you're looking for, and how we can move forward to work together. All right. If there are no questions, I want to thank you all so much for joining me and have an amazing Tuesday, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.